Perfect.
Welcome to the Sacad Guled Show, your front row seat to the journeys of leaders, innovators, and change makers, redefining what's possible. I'm your host, Sacad Guled, and today I have a special guest, Ayub Hassan.
Yep.
Ayub, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I've heard a lot about you, and finally, it's amazing to actually sit in front of you and share some few things with you, and actually gain some experience from you as well.
Awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
brother. Appreciate you
Alhamdulillah.
for the kind words. I'm so happy to be sitting down with you.
Yeah.
So those who don't know who Ayub is the founder of BlueHorn Tea, a specialty tea brand right here, rooted in Somali culture, inspired by the tradition of shaah as a symbol of hospitality and connection. Ayub created a purposeful blend of black tea, ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, and cloves. His mission is very simple but powerful: make authenticity convenience while using culture to bring people together and challenge narratives. Very beautiful, very beautiful.
Thank you.
So, are you first before we deep dive into this? I'm a tea lover, you know.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I also started Sip Society Coffee.
Yep.
A coffee shop in uptown Minneapolis,
Yep.
and the shaah, the tea, is one of our best sellers. I came out with the recipe, the hail,
Yeah.
the cloves,
Yeah.
all of that
all
good
that.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm a tea lover myself.
Appreciate it.
What made you do this, and when was the moment that you said this needs to exist?
Yeah, I think so. For those of you who don't know, I moved here in 2018. Right?
Wow.
I was born in Somalia, Mogadishu, and growing up, I think I am one of a very big family that
Okay.
you can consider like the household. And typically in our household, I have a lot of sisters.
Mhm.
Barely we didn't used to do anything, right? Like the kitchen is always occupied by mom and the sisters, right? And as a kid, we're only two boys and almost eight girls in the house. I always wanted to be involved in something, right? They used to tell us like, hey, like you cannot be in the kitchen or do this and that. And personally, for me, I think like the thing that the memories I have of Somalia was like waking up early in the morning, anjero, like in the house, or like shaah brewing, right? Like the aroma is something that I used to woke up to, and that was like the nostalgia that every time I smell a cup of tea is like takes me back home there. And when I moved here, as you can imagine, I was brand new. Everything was a cultural shock to me. I went to high school here, but then when I went to college is when I really understood.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to Hopkins High School.
Hopkins.
Yeah, I came here my sophomore year. I did 1 year of sophomore year and then 2 years of junior and senior year.
Nice.
Then graduated. I went to St. Thomas. I did 4 years there. Studied entrepreneurship.
Nice.
And
Congratulations.
yeah, so in college is where like I actually understood what it meant to be a foreigner, right? Or as a Somali person. What people would associate with us was not always what I thought of myself, right? When people think about Somalia, they think about the piracy or like the terrorism that's going on or like all the negative things that's portrayed in the media. We're always the headlines for all the wrong reasons. And personally, I think like my memory of Somalia, it's something positive, right? Like there was a civil war going on, but I never felt anything like that,
Okay.
right? Like I was always surrounded by family. I had uncles who would take me around to places. I never felt safe. Never felt insecure in Somalia until I moved here. And tea idea kind of also came because like tea in Somali culture is a social beverage. It's something that people converse over, right? When you have visitors over, the first thing you offer them is a cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's a sign of hospitality. It's
Yeah.
how you show you're welcome in somebody's culture, right? But then also tea also served as a pillar in our community for unspoken conversations, right? Like when people have tough conversations, like such as marriage proposals, right? The first thing, the center of it will be a cup of tea. If people are having political affairs or conflicts on somebody's resolving any of those things, the center of that was always shaah, right? And that's what I wanted to create was like, hey, how do we share who we are with other people by using something that's so fundamental to our culture? I have not met so far any Somali person who says I don't like shaah.
No, it's impossible.
Right? It's part of like our culture, it's part of our DNA, is who we are as a people, right? And that was the best representation of who we are. So I wanted to take that positive side of us and then share it with other people. And also, food service bridges between two different cultures. I traveled when I was in college. I went to 24 countries.
Nice.
Right? I was backpacking through Europe, and one thing that I always did was finding like common spaces or like community hubs, and that was always the tea shop or the coffee shop in every country that you went to. tea was always this thing that people kind of conversed over. Even in America, people say like spill the tea.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? Like
yeah,
spill the tea literally means like
yeah,
share the story with
yeah,
somebody.
for sure.
Right. And yeah, so once I started as actually as a class project, and the whole idea was like, how do we share Somali culture? So yeah, so once we figured like tea was a social hub, always knew that I had to share Somali culture in a positive light. And the only way of doing that is if you drink something really nice from a country, you tend to associate that specific memory that you had when you were having that drink with that country. So we wanted like when somebody drinks a really good authentic cup of Somali tea, they tend to associate those positive things with Somalia. So psychologically, like we wanted to change just that little bit of a psychological difference and share it with other people as well.
Awesome. Wow, that's very beautiful, Ayub. And I'm so happy for you.
Thank
You
you.
don't get to hear or see stories like this for someone who hasn't been in the country that long, 7 years, 8 years, whatever the
Yep.
case may be,
Yeah.
who accomplished so much. And I'm really impressed by your success. How did you come up with this? And when you talk about BlueHorn,
Yeah.
people that don't know, because I mean, I've heard of it,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't know how to use it. Like, for example, I know how to make tea.
Yeah.
How would you make this? Do you want to really
So, like,
explain?
yeah. So actually, like, let me start
How
with
did
the
the
name.
idea start?
Yep. Yeah. Let's start with the name, right?
Mm.
Bluehorn.
Mhm.
Bluehorn is Bluehorn of Africa,
Mhm.
right? In Somalia, we have the longest coastline in Africa,
Yes.
right? And I wanted to make that a fundamental of the company,
Mm.
right? It's what the company is basically. And the original idea was like everybody when we're making shaah at home, it's such a long process. It takes time, and if you're in a rush, it's not that easy for you to make a really good cup of tea. So what we did was we actually focused on sourcing, finding the actual products that my grandma used to use in Somalia. The same exact process, nothing changed, right? And yeah, so right now all you need is just a kettle, water, and sugar,
Okay.
right? It has all the other ingredients you need to the perfect measurement to everything, right? So the black tea, the ginger, the cinnamon, the cardamom, the cloves. It took me about a year and a half just to perfect the blend to the point where like everybody makes tea their own ways,
Mhm.
right? Like there isn't a standard chef formula that everybody uses,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And we had to accommodate everybody. Some people like more ginger in their tea. Some people like less cloves in their tea,
Yes, for
right? More
sure.
people like more caffeine in the black tea. Others don't like that so much, right? And for us, the problem has always been like, how do we find the balance between the two?
Mhm.
And we just kept on iterating on it until we figured out something that a lot of people were not sending a lot of negative feedback from,
Yes.
right? And then now, where it's just like the way to make it is just boil water, add a tablespoon of the tea into it, let it sit there for like 5 minutes, you strain it out, you add your sugar, and you're good to go.
Awesome, awesome. That's beautiful. So basically, you just need hot water and sugar.
Basically.
And how do you? So the measurements and all of that stuff is in there.
Yeah,
With-
the measurements actually we left it up to the people to decide.
Okay.
Right, like the first time when you make it, you're not gonna get it right. But then from that onwards, you know what your preference is, right? If you wanna have more stronger tea, you add more of the tea into it,
So
right?
this
Less
powder.
or no, this is actually loose leaf,
Oh, okay. Nice.
right? So
Nice.
it does not dissolve in the water. You have to strain it out.
Okay.
So that's why we tell people like once it's done boiling, let it steep for a few minutes, then strain it out. A lot of people were just like mixing it in hot water and thinking like the product is going to dissolve and everything.
Okay. No, I
Yeah.
see. And then how's the company doing? Are you making sales now?
We are making sales, alhamdulillah. We actually grew by almost 10x from last year
Oh,
in
okay, nice.
2024 compared to 2025. 2025
Congratulations.
was the year, yeah, thank you. 2025 was the year that a lot of people discovered about our product,
Mhm.
right? I think we were focused on a different market and we neglected our own community, right? Like this product is used mostly by Somali people. We were originally selling it to non-Somali people, and we realized like for us to sell, like to make this an authentic household product, the people who use it have to buy it,
Yeah, for sure.
right? And
Sure.
it wasn't cheap, right? Like the product is expensive compared to any other thing on the shelf,
Mhm.
but we're still the best selling tea in most of the grocery stores in the Twin Cities.
Nice. So where do people find these?
Right now, we're in 96 grocery stores that they can buy at.
Nice.
We are on TikTok, actually, is our bread and butter.
Okay.
We have a lot of influencers who are sharing our products there as well. And then you can also buy it from our website and Amazon as well.
Amazon. Okay, awesome. Wow, no, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. I really love the concept. I really love the idea. Maybe you should take this to Shark Tank, man.
I mean, that was the plan, but like
Uh,
also like the other thing about it is like
uh,
we wanted to represent Somalia in a positive light as well. So like even our packaging had to say something,
yeah, yeah,
right? Like I think when you look into like other products that are made by our community, is always it does not meet to the standard or like professionally to the point where you can get into Target and Cup Foods,
yeah.
right? Like everybody has like a specific formula that they were following in terms of like how to make the product, and I spent a quite bit of time to actually make the product look presentable.
Nice.
Or like even pouches, like you never find tea in pouches in grocery stores,
Yeah, I see
right?
that.
Like the product is too big even to fit in the grocery store, but we still wanted like to have something that when you grab it or it attracts your attention, you're actually glad, like proud to actually have something like that. It doesn't feel like a cheap product,
Yeah.
right? It looks like they put some effort into it.
No, I can, and I'm big on marketing and
Yeah.
packaging and things that really look nice and well put together. And I can see that, this was not an accident. This was a time. This took a time. This took, a lot of thoughts,
Yep.
a lot of time spent on designing this product, and which leads to my next question. At such a young age, how did you learn about this? Because this is not what they teach you in school.
Yeah.
Even
Honestly.
though
Yeah.
you go to college
Yeah.
for 10 years, 8 years,
Yeah.
they don't teach you to become a very creative. I can see the smile on your face. I can see how comfortable you are. Because I read people,
Yeah.
at such a young age, mashallah, you're shaped very well.
Thank you.
How did you learn about all of this?
Yeah. Honestly, it's try and error. Like it's something that I've always been doing my whole life,
Trial and error. I like that.
right?
See,
Like it's
a lot of people, especially the kids at your age, they
yeah.
don't want to do the same things.
Of course,
They don't,
yeah.
they
I
don't want to
know.
do, I always tell the people around me, I love this generation,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of, I'm a critic of them because they, they're good, obviously, ways more than their shortcomings. We all have shortcomings, we're human beings. But this generation, one of the things that I really praise them about is how clean hearted they are, how they support each other, how they really want good, they want the good things for their brothers and their friends. But also, I feel like they don't try harder, they're not really creative.
Yeah.
They really want to copy each other, they really want to own, the same businesses. They want to dress the same way, they want to have the same hairstyle.
Exactly.
They want to drive the same Toyota with the dark tints. They want to do the same Khamis on Fridays.
Yeah.
So it's like so that's why I'm really impressed
Yeah.
on how creative you are and how you really come up with this beautiful
I
idea.
think we're talking about tackle or like
Yeah.
earlier today I was saying like some other people like proven concepts.
Yeah.
Right? Like if they see something is working for you,
Yeah.
you're gonna find 10 like complicated like copycats the next day.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
For
Like
sure,
that
for sure.
always exists. But like for me, like it's something that I think I just had over the years, right? Like I had a job at Cargill when I was in high school. That was my first internship.
Mhm.
It was paying really good, but then I hated the fact that I was always in a cubicle and I'm a very active person. I need to move up and down for me to actually feel accomplished, right? The way like this, like the entrepreneurship and everything, like people think when you go to school, like they don't exactly teach you exactly how to be an entrepreneur. But St. Thomas is a different,
Yeah.
right? Like I feel like I went to St. Thomas not knowing how to start a business and I graduated knowing how to run a business.
Oh.
Right? Like maybe it's the program that St. Thomas has because the community there was really good. In terms of like startup, the support is the most important thing when you're getting started early on, right? I think our generation, you're right. We support each other, but then we also have very high expectations. We want things to work right away.
Yeah.
Right? Like you start a business, you give yourself 2 months, you're gonna make $100,000. That does not work like that. Right? Like
And I wish everybody could, hear that out loud.
no, please, like that is the truth to it. Like you have to be obsessed, you have to be crazy about a concept that you have. And I always tell people like nobody else knows the idea that's in your head until you actually accomplish it.
Yes.
And you cannot do any of those things within 6 months.
No.
You need to give yourself 6 months, just be obsessed with that concept, become an expert in that little niche, right? That's how you get ahead eventually.
No, you said it the best, and it's crazy because I feel like, we've talked before, which we never did. Today is the first day that we met. I always tell people, if you really want to be successful, you have to be obsessive.
Yeah.
You have to become obsessed with your craft.
Yep.
You have to, know that this is your bread and butter, and no matter what happens, it's the thing that I'm, gonna focus on.
Yeah. Resilience is hard.
Yeah, at all times, and not a lot of people really understand that. And you're right. Our community, our people, really love to copy each other. I remember starting a coffee shop was it wasn't about the money for me,
Yep.
and I'll tell you that much right now. That store doesn't make me a lot of money, but it was about I'm a coffee enthusiast. Uh, I have over 5, 6 different coffee machines. Some in my office, 2 different ones in my house.
Yeah.
My other office, I have one. So I love coffee. So for me, it was a passion.
Yeah.
It wasn't about, I want to open a coffee shop so people can say, oh, Sacad Guled has a coffee shop. So for me, it was the fact that I love coffee and how to bring my community together. How to bring, brothers, people that really in our community together. How can I create more jobs, more opportunities for other people?
Exactly.
And now it has become a trend where people just, open coffee shops just because people want to feel like, oh, they own something. I always get a message, hey, I want to start a school bus company, how can I do it? And no, seriously, and for
Yeah.
me, I don't mind sharing, or as the youngsters say, gatekeep. I don't want to
Yep.
gatekeep anything, but you don't know what I have been through. You don't know how hard it is to own a transportation company,
Yep.
because this is, I think, our 8th year for Coherent Bus Company, and for the first couple of years, we never saw success. It was about building,
Yep.
and this generation doesn't. They don't understand that. They see a finished product, and they feel like success is an overnight thing.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're thinking that like that at a young age, the sky's the limit for you, brother.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
but like, yeah, just one point about you is like, we don't gatekeep. You're right, right? And the thing that separates between you and the other person who wants to start the business is, do they have the determination to spend the same amount of time that you did? I'll tell you exactly how I started my company, where I sourced all my products. I'll share it with you. The only thing is, are you going to do it?
yeah,
Right? Like
sure.
the consistency, like 2.5 years, I was not paid a single dollar out of this business, but I was working every single day. I remember nights like we were in, at least by myself, mixing the blend, doing all these things until 3 a.m. And I had school at 8 a.m. Right? Like I was doing that long. Most people give up way too early. And that's the reason why a lot of businesses fail. If you just like, again, like another question was like passion, right? Like you can follow your passion, but your passion does not pay the bills.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Uh,
it's true. Like,
you
yeah.
saw the video about that.
I saw the video and I love that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's so true. Because earlier on, a lot of people want to start businesses for the money,
Yeah.
right? Or they believe like, hey, I really like this concept, but the only passion only comes after you've been doing it for a long period of time.
Mhm.
If you asked me like, was I passionate about tea when I was starting this company? Not very much. Am I passionate about tea now? 100%, right? Because now I see what the product is, how the community is reacting to it, what kind of pride and self-esteem that it gives me to be able to present this in front of people, right? To the quality that it is. Passion over your business builds over time. By the time you're running this for 10 years, right, you will fall in love with it because you have seen the results you have accomplished. You've hired people, right? You've created jobs. You have done something positive for your community. The passion just grows on from that.
For sure.
Unless like you have a very specific talent, like if you sports or anything like that, you can follow your passion for that. But in business, I think like the resilience over time is the only thing that's gonna get you like to the final destination, I guess.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. You're 100% right. And people don't understand that. What were some of the challenges that you faced in your early,
Yeah.
the early stages?
Early stages, man. That's like again, that's the beauty of the business because like I at that point I didn't know what the potential of the company was. Right, I was forcing it in front of like to the wrong market. Right, like once you know like your product is not being received right, you always iterate and make some changes to it.
Mhm.
For me, it was like my product was being consumed very very well at a higher price to the non-Somali market, but the Somali market was the people who we needed the validation from.
Mm.
This is a Somali product. Right, Somali people have to use it for us to say like this is as authentic as it gets.
But don't you want this to this goes viral and not Somalis really experience it and release this to make this for universal audience, for example, right? And I'm gonna follow up with a question with that. For not Somalis, what kind of feeling do you want them to have for the first time? Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
for the
did you get any feedbacks?
Yeah, the first time when people try it, actually, like we do a lot of farmers markets in person events over the summer.
Okay,
There's
perfect.
a lot of like early in the morning, first time buyers come around, they try our tea. They always have something positive to say. I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. We actually have a slogan that says it's like chai but better.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
That's like I think they know of Somali people, they don't know nothing about Somali culture.
Mhm.
Right. And we want this to be their first gateway to like Somali culture for them to experience our hospitality and our cuisine.
For sure.
Right. So the first time they tried, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. The spices are perfect. Right. Everything is balanced well. But then they don't like brewing it is such a learning curve. Right. We have been making our tea the whole lives.
Mhm.
Right. Like I don't need to explain to a Somali person how to make shaah or like how to make Somali tea. But then like for the non-Somali market, we had to like specify exactly how to make it. And they have to make it more than 5 times for them to get to like the right consistency. Because it's a little bit of a learning curve. Right. But yeah, follow up.
But don't you think it's smart to have that niche in your business? And I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business,
Yeah.
but like because we're such a small group in the world.
Yep.
For me, I would really earlier you said you were going this with the wrong market.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you can say first introduce to your community,
Yep.
but make this for universal audience so people can really actually know about the Somali tea. Because for me, for example, let me tell you this: I went to a place, I think it's called Papa or something. I tried the Vietnamese coffee for
Yeah.
the first time,
Yeah.
and I'm hooked.
Oh,
Man.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah.
I love it, right?
Yeah.
So I would love people to have that type of experience about your tea.
Yep.
And also, I think it would be best if you put instructions and recipes on how to make them. So
We have that, yeah. On the back of it, we do have the recipes and how to make it exactly like with the Hana too.
With
Like
the-
shaah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
Hana
okay,
shaah,
okay.
right?
Perfect. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
So we have that, but then like for me, I think what was personal to me was like I have never seen a product made for the Somali people.
Okay.
Nothing has ever been marketed to them, right? Like every single thing that we're consuming other people's products, right? Even back home, we're a very small group of people, but I believe like I can build a multi company just by being that company within our society, like something that people can be proud of to purchase. Right? Like right now, I think our biggest traction was like Somali moms buying our product not because they love the flavor and the scent and the tea of it, but they're buying our product because they want to support me. Right? Like that was the difference between like the Somali market and the non-Somali market. Like the beachhead community is like what I was taught in school, right?
Yeah.
The early adopters, who are the people who are gonna fall in love with your product and continue buying it no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? Like the non-Somali market, if I put a lot of my effort into it right now with whatever is going, like being Somali was trending for a while ago, right?
Yeah.
That already deters a lot of people from trying out a product that has the Somali name in it. Right? Like for us to hedge our bets, it was always like, where do we find this community that we're gonna have no matter what? Right? Then we can use that community to expand to other markets. Right? Like right now, this product is not suited for the non-Somali market. It's not convenient to make for them. They don't know how to make it. But we're working on other products that's going to really do well in those markets.
Yeah.
Right? Like yeah.
So are you tracking who's buying? Like for example, Amazon. Is it like all Somalis or
almost Amazon is actually a pretty good mix. It's more like 60% Somali, 40% non-Somali. But TikTok is where our bread and butter is. Okay. And 90% of people who are buying on TikTok are Somalis.
Awesome. That's beautiful. Once again, congratulations. I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now politically, that a lot of negativity towards the Somali community, which is BS, and I don't really agree, because there are people like you, there are people like me, there are people like Isaac who really make their living in the right way. What is your take on that, and what message you have for the world?
Yeah, I think like this is only temporarily, and we are being used as an scapegoat right now. Right? That does not mean the truth about it. I think it was the confirmation bias that a lot of people had. Right? There's just one YouTuber out there that's bringing all this clout in. Right? And everybody, like, it's easier to attack somebody than not to focus on than to focus on the positive things in that community. For me, I think like this is the fundamental reason why we started the company, right? We always knew this existed. Now it's just been broadcasted to the whole
Yeah.
world to see it, right? And as a young entrepreneur here, as a Somali guy who's running a Somali tea company, I think like this is the time where like I'm showing people that we're beyond what they say on the headlines, right? Like
For sure.
changing the narrative again,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Was kind of tying back to the product, and then actually gives me more hope now of the product that I'm making, of the company that we are building,
Yeah.
because we want everybody else to see that's not who we are. And I think like me being an example for that, right? Like the young people who are watching this and like feeling demoralized, or everybody's gonna say they're not impacted by it, but realistically speaking, it does have a mental toll on people, right? And the more we continue doing this, right, like showing us in a positive light and showing like, hey, we can come here, go to school, do the right things, start businesses, and actually live the American dream. Right? Like the American dream was mostly accomplished by immigrants.
Yes.
We are the immigrants who are building the American dream, and we are contributing to the local economy here. Right? I'm not just doing this so I can hire all of my relatives to continue running this company. It was like just beyond who we are, right? And sharing that culture, like also allowing people to come in. I think we've been gatekeeping ourselves for too long. We've not opened the world to see who we are,
Yeah.
and that does not help in terms of like what people really believe of us.
Yeah.
Right? If they think something negative and we do not come and say like, hey, we don't show them anything positive about our culture, then the negative stereotypes is always going to be the headlines.
Yeah, no, it's sad reality. And thanks for explaining that, and thanks for the message to the young entrepreneurs and everybody. Anybody that says they're not impacted is playing themselves, because this administration did not, attack individuals or the bad ones. This administration attacked a Somali community as a whole. And that's why it's kind of sad right now, because I hear a lot of stories, even, the good ones. If you're driving a nice car, oh, this from a daycare business,
You can be successful in America,
yeah,
right?
this is from, and the funny thing is, there are bad apples in every community. Nobody can say otherwise. Every community in America has bad apples. Am I defending the Somali community? 100% no. There are bad apples in our community, but it's so sad that you generalize and say all Somali people are bad. I would be the first one to call out those bad apples, and I'm sure you agree with me too. If someone is bringing bad image, a bad name to the Somali community, our duties and our responsibilities as U.S. citizens is to bring those people into justice.
Hold
them accountable and have them face the consequences that they should be facing, right? So our, country, the people that are, generalizing the whole community don't understand that. They say, oh, Somali people don't love this country. I love this country. This country is all I know. When the war happened, I was so young. I don't remember anything about Somalia. I love my people. I love my country. But America is my country as well. I love this country. This country made me. It gave me a dream. It gave me a hope. So how can I really, how can I go against this country? So people don't understand that. And sometimes, I don't know. I'm like, are people really serious that they think a whole community is bad? So I'm just hoping for a better tomorrow, for sure.
It is going to come. Honestly, it's just that tension right now.
Yeah,
right? Like we just have to weather the storm. Basically,
no,
weather the storm for now.
No, for sure. Let's get back to this. Your product. Have you been traveling to other states and showcasing your product?
Yeah, not as much, but we do have a lot of interest from other states. So TikTok again, it's such a broad network that anybody in the US is able to buy a product.
So are you running ads on TikTok?
No, we're not running any ads on TikTok. Just organic.
Oh.
Right? We have over 1,100 influencers on TikTok.
Oh.
We're showcasing our product and sharing some positive reviews. But then again, it's the community once again, right? They're falling in love with the product, and grocery stores in Ohio are actually calling me interested in our product because they found us on TikTok.
Oh.
Right? There are multiple ways of marketing your product. And fundamentally, I think one thing that I learned from all my other ventures was word of mouth is the best form of marketing when you're starting. right? Right now, like, yeah, we're in Seattle. We're in all those like 94 grocery stores that I mentioned. But then before Ramadan, I'm planning to travel to hopefully every single state, sell my products in every single grocery store that's there. And I
Nice.
actually want to make a database of all the halal stores in the US. There isn't a single like platform. Well, like for us, I think I doubled down on the Somali market. I want to be in the halal grocery stores, right? That's beyond just like the product. But then what I learned is like the halal stores is also a pillar of our community. Our local mom and pop owns it, right? They're feeding their families from that grocery store, right? Like it's the local economy that they're creating within our community that's so important, right? Like at the halal store, you're not gonna find like when I go to on my halal store, I'm like, mom sent me this and this. He knows exactly what mom buys always there,
Mm.
right? Like that cannot be found at Target or Walmart, right? Like the halal community, like the halal grocery store has been a pillar of our community, and that's how we plan on growing.
Awesome.
So yeah, hopefully like Seattle is another place I'm planning to travel. Hopefully in the next few weeks, Ohio in the next following week after that, then going to like the DMV area. I did not know there were a lot of Somali people in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but hey, there are a lot of grocery stores. Even Alaska, like
you go to China, you find some other people.
there's no place that we're not at this point.
Yeah, I went to I was in a small city in Italy
Yeah,
a couple of years back, and I'm talking about not the big cities like Milan, Rome, where you can see Somali people. I'm talking about a small city, and there was a Somali person living there, and
Yeah.
he said he was the only person, that was living in that city. I said, "How the heck did you find this place?" I came here for vacation. I saw this on TikTok.
Yeah.
I saw this on TV.
Yeah.
How did you end up in here? He was like, "Man, we're everywhere, man." So you go to Sicily, there's Somalis. So I'm not really shocked. What do you want people to be remembered when they taste your product?
When they taste our product is the culture behind it, right? Like we don't just want to be another company that another product that's just on the shelves. Like the whole idea right now is like, how do we make this a common household product? Right? Like it's something that we wanted to bring nostalgia back to you. We want you to remember the time that you spent with your family and all those things, right? I think like the first thing what I want people to take out of it is like this is something that's more than a product. Right? Like this is a product that you're buying right now, but then you're also contributing to broader things. Right? Like I think once again in our community, right? Like the whole goal is like to make it into a household product. Like every single Somali household that's in the world, including Somalia and like all the other diasporas, I want to have my product in their houses, right? And that's like just to kind of make it beyond what it is or like what people think of it. If it's a common household product, people know exactly what it is and they tend to continue buying it or associate something positive with it.
Nice. That's amazing. What do you want to tell the next entrepreneur, your age or any age, who wants to start a business? What's your message to that
I
person?
think like I tell people this, like if you're gonna start a business, first like do something little. A lot of people have ideas about the thing that they wanna do, but not everybody takes action upon it. And, like that's the gap between like our generation and like the older generation. I think like the older generation came to America, they didn't have the same resources as we do. They didn't speak the same languages. They didn't have the opportunities that we do. But we are the second generation. We went to school, we know the system, we learned the language, and now we have an actual impact that we can contribute to the economy here. Right. So if you're starting a business, like one is just be more persistent. Whatever idea you have, start by doing something little. Those little steps increment over time. That's what changes. Like that's what changes you over time as well, right? And second is don't do it for the money, right? The money will always come later. First, build a system that works, that you know and you understand. There's nobody who's gonna know your business or your vision better than you. If you're sleeping on it, I don't think people will get to see that. Like, your potential. What can you accomplish, right? And be obsessed with it. Be crazy about it. Let people call you whatever they want to call you. Right? Like I'm the shaah guy, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the name that stuck with me right now,
Nice,
and I
nice.
own it.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the personality that I want other people to associate with it. I want when people they see me, they remember this product, or they see this product, I want them to remember me. Right? Like that's what everybody's afraid of, what other people are gonna consider them, or like what society expects of them, or like they have to fit into this category of like or the friends is starting a business. Now they feel like they want to start a business.
Yeah.
This might be controversial, but I don't think anybody should own a business. Right? Like not everybody is resilient enough to actually do it.
No, it's valid. They do say entrepreneurship is not for everyone. You because in order for you to be a business owner, you have to have a thick skin. You have to have a lot of patience. You have to have a lot of discipline, and not most people are willing to give up a lot, because in order for you to be an entrepreneur, you have to give up a lot.
Oh, you have to
You have,
sacrifice
you have,
everything.
yeah, you have to let go of friends.
Yep.
Sometimes you even have to, take a time away from your own family,
Yep.
your loved ones, and people don't understand that. If you're not willing to sacrifice all of that for you to be at a better place and your business, you're not going to be a great business owner, or you're not going to be a great entrepreneur. So it's not controversial. It's actually a valid point. So
Yeah. So yeah, once again, it's just like that consistency. I think like from my personal experience, like I think I've always been the person who's like always active, always doing something, right? Like since I came to America, honestly, I worked on 14 different ventures, right?
Oh.
Like my first exit was in 2022 when I sold my previous business that I started with my best friend.
What was it?
It was a car detailing. We used to
Oh.
wash cars for dealerships.
Nice.
Right? Like
How was that? How was that?
that was the eye-opening experience, honestly. It was the first time that I actually made real money in my life with bare minimum commitments. I had a full scholarship, thank God, right? I was living on campus. But I wanted to do beyond that. Right? Like in COVID, people had nothing to do.
Yeah.
I became restless. I hated the fact that I was inside the house. Right? I started a clothing brand with my best friend. We did 5 drops, 5 different designs that we did, right? Worked out really great. I learned a lot from just that experience, like how to start a business, LLC, bank account, and all those things. Then my second venture was like when the stimulus checks came back in 2020.
Yeah.
Me and my best friend, like instead of spending that money, we put it together. We bought a car from Facebook Marketplace, cleaned it, changed the brakes, like we really detailed the hell out of it. We sold it for a profit, and we're like, I think we can continue doing this. We did that for 6 months, made like what was it, like $10,000-$11,000. Then we opened up a little warehouse is what we rented. We put our 6 months rent into it. Right? That's all the money, all the capital we had.
Yeah.
Cash flow wasn't good. I wish I knew this better.
Wow.
But I learned that 3 months in, we burnt all the money that we had and we didn't have any business. Whatever strategy, whatever business plan that we made did not work out. At that point, it was like, do we quit and give up on like the 20 something money that we lost? Or do we come up with something that we're going to try and experiment with it? Then we started going around to dealerships because we knew dealerships have a high volume of cars.
Yes.
They buy cars from auction. Somebody needs to wash them before somebody else can step into it.
Yes.
We just went into the dealerships around town. We went to 34 of them. No, 31 of them. The 30th one, I was like, if we don't get this, I'm done. Right? We didn't get it. I went to the second one. I told my best friend, I was like, all right, next one. After the next one, I'm done. Right? And the next one, when we walked in, the guy was actually excited to see us. That was the first time when like we're not turned away at the register, because this was like 2 19-year-old kids walking into a dealership saying like, hey, we opened a car detail shop next door. Can we get your 60,000 cars? We take 4 of them. Right? We go and wash it and bring back. Nobody was trusting us for that. But the 32nd one, when we walked in, we just introduced ourselves like, hey, I'm Ayub Hassan. This is my friend Plum. We have a detail shop. And the guy was like, detail? Yes, I actually just lost my detail, guys. You guys can detail? Yeah. What's your amount? We're like, oh, can you give us a car? Then we're gonna talk about pricing. He gave us a car that was parked there for 2 years, construction truck. We picked it up at 6 p.m. We were washing that car until 1 a.m. The following day, we got there before even the dealership was open, waiting for him in the parking lot. He loved it and he was like, "This is amazing." He gave us his whole lot, 130 cars in one day, like that.
Wow. It's amazing.
Right?
Beautiful story, man.
Yeah. So like that was again the resilience into it, where like we just kept on doing it, and then we realized like, okay, we have this business. How can we, like, the guy gave us a week to get down 130 cars. We could only do 3 cars a day.
So
Right?
did you hire other people?
We had to.
Mm.
So we figured out like, okay, if I put in 15 hours a day, and my best friend puts in 15 hours a day, that's 30 hours a day combined. We can only get 10 cars out. We did 130. That was going to take us 13 days. We had 5 days to get it done. Then we reached out to our friends who dropped out of college. We were like, hey, one of them was working at Macy's earning $14 an hour. Told him, I'm going to give you $17 an hour if you show up tomorrow. He showed up. Right.
Nice.
Another friend was working at, I think, a gas station register. He was making $14 an hour. I told him, I'll give you $16 an hour if you come tomorrow with a bonus of $150 by Friday. I was like, all right, sounds good. Right. That's how we built our first success. And yeah, the first 3 months we lost money. Following 6 months, we made our first 100K. The second following months, we made 100. By the end of the year, I think we made $120,000 in revenue, just straight cash from the money that we were doing from all the cars and detailing. So I ran that business for 2 years. I think we reached $500,000 in like cash flow every single year. Then like I had a conversation with my parents where like I was like, I'm making more money than I ever thought in my life. What's the point of school? Right? I'm doing entrepreneurship and finance. This is what I'm going to school for, but I'm already doing it. And my parents told me like I can only be 20 once. Right? You might as well knock this out and never worry about school. Once you have a college degree, nobody can take that away from you.
Awesome.
And what's the benefit? Like you have full right. Like why give that up?
Yeah.
Right? Like this is set for you. For you only have 2 years left. Right? Like just see it through. You like entrepreneurship, right? Yeah, I'm doing entrepreneurship. The classes were relatively very easy for me. But then like, yeah, then that conversation is like again, my mom specifically said, Maraykanka hal waxaa lagugu diray inta school dhigatay jaamacad soo dhamaysid halaas hadaa sameynin then maxaa Maraykanka sameynaysaa.
No.
Like that was the truth.
Translate that to English.
Okay, yeah. Basically, it was like we sent you to America for one thing. That was to go to school and graduate college. That was the biggest accomplishment for me and my parents. Like that was the epitome of our success.
Oh.
Right? Like I always, even growing up, I always wanted to graduate college. I always wanted to go to college. Right? It was never about the potential of like the money I was going to make in the future.
Yeah.
So I'm glad my mom had like that honest talk with me.
Mhm.
And that's the point when I decided I was like, all right, I'm going to exit. I'm going to leave my best friend to run the shop, pay me a residual income over the next few years. Then that's when I backpacked through Europe for 6 months. That's the time I had. I took my mom to Dubai as well. Went to Somalia for 3 months. Spent some time with family back home. Then came back and finished school.
Awesome. Wow, that was such a beautiful and inspiring. I'm really impressed, and I mean it. You're such a young, smart man, and with this mindset and this with this ambition, you're
Yeah.
gonna go
I hope.
far in life.
I hope,
And
yeah.
that's the beauty of it, because you have to keep trying. And to comment back on what your mom said, she's right. You don't go to school to make money.
Yep.
College doesn't really. I always say that in my videos.
Yeah.
It doesn't guarantee success.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm like, I have an MBA. I'm like, was it worth it? Why did I pay $70,000 or $80,000 for an MBA? That was so stupid of me. But then, when I see, the people that I can sit with, the tables that I can take you,
Yeah.
the
doors
connections,
opens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, it's bigger than money.
Yeah.
It's bigger than you just earning more money, and education is very important. We all understand that part as we get older. So I'm so happy that you really listen to your parents, because that's one other thing. This generation think they know it all. Oh, mom, I know what I'm doing. They feel like money solves every freaking problem. I mean, it does to some degrees. It does solve a lot of problems, but it doesn't mean that just because you get a little money you know everything and you don't listen to your parents. So the fact that you took your parents' advice, that you finished your college, and you're still successful at a young age, shows how great you are as a person. And you have a great potential, brother. Keep going. I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to taste your product. I can't wait to sit down with you again, because I'm sure you're gonna shake the world one day.
I
You
hope.
With that attitude, seriously.
I hope to live up to the reputation.
No, you will. You will. I can tell who's who.
Yeah.
I kid you not. I can tell who's who. I can tell who's gonna be successful or not. You're a young, humble, hungry brother. And with that mindset, it makes me happy. As an older brother, it makes me happy to see someone doing, somebody like your age doing so much for his community, so much, being positive. And I'm just a proud big brother. And keep going. And thanks for coming to the Sacad Guled Show. We're going to conclude this, episode. I hope you learned so much about Ayub as much as I did. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Really, man. It's such a pleasure being here.